Come on, Mike, say it ain't so. You're not selling your Bitcoin. Remember your own rules. Never sell your Bitcoin. Mortgage your house, whip out your credit cards, borrow to infinity, only buy Bitcoin. Well, that's falling apart real quick. Like, we're going to cover that story here and a whole lot more. Let's get into this feature story, though. This is a big one. 13 trillion coming on chain. Ripple acquires, well, non-crypto companies. That's kind of strange. Not a lot of other people are doing that. The general thesis is, well, buy this complementary crypto company, increase your revenues, go public. That's not what Ripple's doing. They have a different idea, a different approach here. They want to buy non-crypto companies and big ones like G Treasury. G Treasury is doing $13 trillion in payments annually. But when Ripple bought them, none of them were happening on the blockchain. Ripple's going to change that quick. Like Brad expects 30% within 5 years, and they're already starting that transition, making it easy for them, making it efficient, cost effective, get these behemoths from the old world into the future of finance. And that's what they're doing here. And it has a compounding effect. You are buying a big company, you're making them more efficient, you're transitioning them to use your technology stack. Home run interview by Brad there. It got bigger. I love this. Brad says, don't mess with Ripple, man. And he says the SEC's tactical error when they sued Ripple was one big one, and it was selecting Ripple to begin with. They could have sued probably pretty much anyone else. They could have got them to capitulate, go along with it. They picked the wrong company and really the wrong crypto community at that as well. Because make no mistake, the lawsuit was against Ripple, but they're going after XRP. They messed with the wrong group here, and they lost in epic fashion because this whole community stood up against them, kept XRP in the top 4 or 5 crypto coins out there, stayed liquid, global demand was strong. Ripple, charged into court and won in dominating fashion, and then everything they wanted to do fell apart. Now, Gary Gensler threw a hissy fit and sued literally everyone, but they had no real path to victory because Ripple gave everyone the playbook. Understand this. They're not going to do that again. If we don't get rules done now, and we got some big updates on that, we'll cover it, that they're not going to sue people because that's not going to work. What they're going to do is they're going to write the rules of the future, and you won't like that. And these are not perfect rules we're looking at now, but if you wait till 2030 and you get an anti-crypto regime back in power, you're not going to like the rules they write. Get those suckers done now. But Ripple's right and Brad's right. Don't mess with Ripple, man. That was their strategic error here. Now, here's what I was talking about to open this video. Michael Saylor proposes, well, let's sell some Bitcoin, to pay dividends. Pay dividends? Are you kidding me? He says now, it was never sell your Bitcoin. Now, you buy Bitcoin with credit, you let it appreciate, and then you sell Bitcoin to pay the dividends. So this becomes not a levered play on Bitcoin. Now I'm paying Michael Saylor to be a trader of my Bitcoin, to trade for. This is the worst thing. He pivots every other day to something new because you can't borrow to infinity. That is not a strategy. It will not work long term. And like I've said, times are pretty good right now within crypto. If you think this is bad, you haven't been around very long. This is pretty good. If you're selling to pay freaking dividends today, you understand what kind of dumpster fire is in the future for this company as we go forward. It is going to be awful. Digital asset investor adding here, anyone who couldn't see this from a mile away, well, they don't need to be investing in anything. Of course, this was always going to happen. He was always going to have to sell his Bitcoin, and this is just the start of it. He will sell more as time goes over. And again, these are the good times, man. If you're selling your assets now, you got real problems here. The big update here, Senator Bernie Moreno says there will be a markup for the crypto market structure legislation next week. Boom, get this thing done. And then they're going to get it at the president's desk for signing, and he'll sign it into law before July 4th. This better happen. You're going to see this space erupt, and we need this. It's not just about ETFs and investment capital. This is about the most important thing, using this technology. That's why this matters. You can go out and build the future with confidence that the laws are not going to change. Again, once these things go into law, they're there for 100 years, 120 years. Hey, go ahead and build your infrastructure. No problem. Get this thing done. It's going to be huge for this whole space, I think, both in the short term and in the long term. Anthony Papagliano, he doesn't believe we will ever see another long bear market in U.S. equities. He says central banks got it all figured out. Oh, man. I guarantee you we're going to have another long-term, bear market in U.S. equities. This is crazy. This is just not reality. Arthur Hayes says altcoins is never going to die, and he's right. Look, you have different networks that have different abilities, feature sets, excel at different areas, and he's absolutely right. He says, yeah, 99% of coins are going to die, but that happens in companies too. How many companies, public companies, since 1929 have died, like 98% of them. Like that's the norm. That's with anything. But you're always going to have this because again, one's great at payments, one's great at smart contracts. One's for gaming, one's for NFTs. You need all these different networks. I mean, you don't need all of them, of course. A lot of them will go away. But the ones that actually are world class and have real utility, those are going to have lasting staying power and build value over time. We saw this breaking. President Trump says Project Freedom in the Strait of Hormuz will be on pause at the request of Pakistan and other countries. Is this what I said? We're going to see this whole gimmick. Hostilities flare, everyone panics. They're starting to kind of catch on to this and not panicking so much. And then both sides realize it's not really anywhere to go. Is Iran just going to shoot missiles at everyone forever? Is the U.S. just going to float around out there? If you're not going to invade, there's nowhere really to go for this. Either this is it or maybe one more flare up, and we're going to put this thing to bed and be done with it and put it behind us. In my opinion, again, I'm no geopolitical expert. I just don't see anywhere for either of these two sides to take this further, and we should be close to bringing this conflict to an end. Now, this is wild. I don't know if you saw this. This has nothing to do with crypto, but they're saying that the U.S. government, intelligence agencies, they're going to churches, pastors, thought leaders in religion, telling them, get ready. We're gonna announce aliens. And by the way, I think once this comes out, it won't tell us a lot. It'll be pretty much nothing. But according to this story, you see David Icke here saying this claim that they're going to announce aliens, and it involves reptilian creatures. Now, that I have no doubt. I've been warning about the reptilians in our government, in our bureaucracy for years. Do they exist? You bet they do. And I've been covered reporting on this. Yes, we have reptilians in our government and in our bureaucracy for sure. You see them. I mean, you take a look at this guy, right away. That is a living, breathing reptilian, no doubt about it. Let me know what you think down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.